Right, so we draw our line down the equal sign, or down our inequality symbol. In this case, it's greater than. So we are subtracting 6, we do the opposite, and we add 6. That cancels out the 6 on the left, and that leaves us just with a y. -7 plus 6 is -1, and we bring down our inequality. So I am going to put a -1 on the number line. Our variable is already on the left, so that's telling us that this inequality is pointing in the direction we need to go. So our inequality is going to go to the right. So I'm going to do an open circle at -1 because it does not include -1. And then it's everything that is larger than -1 or greater than, so it goes to the right. All right, the next one, we draw our line down that equal sign. I'm going to add 3.8 to both sides. That cancels out that decimal and leaves me with just b. Bring down your inequality, and I have 4.5. And so whenever we have to graph inequalities that are decimals, I like to still label it as whole numbers on my number line. I believe Big Ideas does this too. And so our variable's on the left, so that means that this inequality is pointing in the direction. I don't know what's happening, I apologize. It's pointing in the direction that our variable, or that our graph is going to go. And so I'm going to go to 4.5, so that's halfway between 4 and 5. It is a closed circle. And I am going to go to the left. Wow, this does not want to work today. I go to the left because that inequality is less than or equal to, so it's everything smaller than 4.5. All right, let's do the line down the equal sign. I'm going to add 1/4 to both sides. I'm going to go off to the side over here because we have -1/2 plus 1/4. We need to make these common denominators, so I'm going to multiply by 2 on top and bottom of that 1/2, and I get -2/4 plus 1/4, and that's going to give me -1/4. So these canceled, and I have z. Why is this happening? And 1/4, but it's negative. Bring down that inequality. Our inequality is on the right this time, and so I'm going to make it to where it's on the left. So I have my z, and then I flip my inequality, so the small point's still pointing at the z, and then -1/4. That way it's showing me that my graph is going to go to the left. So now on the graph, I have 0, and I'm going to skip a line this time, 1, and this will be -1. And so now I'm going to go to 1/4, but it's negative. So 1/2, -1/2 would be here. So in between -1/2 and 0 is -1/4. This is an open circle, and it is going to the left. All right, let's draw that line down the equal sign. Actually, let's go up here really quick and talk about it. So when we had -1/4 is greater than z, that means that -1/4 is the largest it can be, which is why everything below is less than. So that's where z's at. So z's somewhere over here. That's why we flipped it. So I rewrote it as z is less than -1/4. That way it's still the same, but this way we can easily see that it's a less than. So over here, you can still graph it this way. You would just have to know that -1/4 is the largest it can be, so it's the closest to 0 it can be. All right. we're adding 3, so let's subtract 3 from both sides. That cancels out that 3, leaving us a W. Bring down that inequality, and that's -1, or that's -4, sorry. And so it's already on the left, so I know that my arrow is going to go to the left. I'm really struggling today, and I apologize. So we have 0, -1, -2, -3, -4. It's a closed circle at -4 because there's that line underneath that inequality, and it's less than, so it's everything below -4. All right, again, draw that line down the inequality. I'm adding 10, so the opposite is subtract 10. These are different signs, so we subtract. Remember when we subtract, I'm going to go back over here, we have to put our large number on top, and our smaller number is on the bottom when we subtract. And so we get 1.5, and it's going to be positive. Nope, it's going to be negative, because that 10 was negative. And then is greater than or equal to D. So remember, -1.5 is the largest it can be. That's bigger than D. So here's 0, -1, -2. We have a closed circle at 1.5, and it's negative. And it's the largest it can be, so that means it's going to go this direction. So it's going to the left. So that's why I rewrite it, and I flip my inequality, and I put the -1.5 on the right, so that way I can see, oh, my arrow is pointing to the left because my inequality points to the left. All right, let's do another one. So we are adding 3/4, so let's subtract 3/4. I'm going to work down here. So I have 1.5 minus 3/4. So this is 2 times 1 is 2, plus 1 is 3. So I have 3/2 minus 3/4. I need to make a common denominator, so let's multiply by 2. So I get 6/4 minus 3/4, and that gives me 3/4. And so we have 3/4. Bring down that inequality. So x is greater than 3/4. So here's 0. And I'm going to go by fourths this time. Nope, it's positive. My bad. Let's put the 0 on this side. So 0 is over here. And this would be 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, and this would be 4/4, which is 1. So 3/4, it's an open circle there. And it's pointing to the right, so we are going to draw our arrow to the right.